All right, welcome. If you're watching this, this is for you. Today's topic, over prepare yourself. It's pretty simple. Whole video is kind of cut and dry, said and done in the topic. So if you really just want to get to it, you don't have to watch me talk anymore. Over prepare yourself. That's it. This is a concept that I get from David Goggins. If you guys don't know who that is and you're looking for motivation, or if you just want to look up somebody cool, check him out. But he has this little bit, this spiel where he's like, you don't need to, or when you have a challenge upcoming, don't stop working until you know for overwhelming certain that you are prepared for that challenge. And that is pretty much all the advice you need for life. It's so simple. It's so obvious. It's right there. Yet so many of us are still struggling. Quite the conundrum. But let's give a few examples of this. If you've ever had a test before, which I'm sure pretty much everybody watching this video has had a test before, when you're studying, if you've studied for a test before, maybe you've never studied for a test. But anyway, when you're studying, there's a point of studying where you know for certain you're going to do well on the test. A lot of the time, a lot of us might study a little bit. We might not study. We might study at the last minute. And then we go in there and we get lucky. Like, oh, the test was easier than I thought. Or, phew, we get wrecked. Like, ooh, dang, I knew I should have studied harder. But in either of those instances, if you're dependent on luck or if you're just willing to risk taking the L, you knew that if you would have started studying weeks before and put in 30 minutes a day every day and really, really tried, there is a point that you could have been over prepared and just been certain that you were going to do well. And there are times when I'm sure you've done this and still might have messed up on the test because it was just like, oh, he put a whole bunch of stuff on the test that we didn't think was going to be on there. Oh, he tricked us. That's happened as well. But in that moment, you aren't even worried. You aren't even mad when you know that you did everything you're supposed to do. Interesting, isn't it? You can apply that to every single thing in your life that you need to do well at. Right now, today, going forward, over prepare yourself for everything that you want to do, and you will win. You will succeed. It is just that simple. And the beautiful part about over preparing is even if you don't succeed, you feel so good about yourself in your over preparation that the outcome doesn't matter as much. Isn't that beautiful? You do things because they're the right things to do, not expecting a certain outcome. So when you over prepare for a promotion and somebody gets it over you because they kiss better, you still feel fine. You might feel like, got screwed by the universe, like, politics. But internally, you aren't mad at yourself for not being a butt kisser. I mean, maybe you are. Maybe that does lead to some regret and downfall and a little bit of misery for a while. But at least you know you did your job. And when you have that feeling, usually good karma follows. I'm telling you that as a fact. When you've been over preparing and doing things that you're supposed to do for yourself, even if you don't get the direct thing that you wanted, things work out for you. Let's say you're in a relationship that hasn't been going well, but you know you've done and are doing all that you're supposed to do. Like, you're trying hard, you're buying flowers, you're waking up early, you're cleaning up, you're checking in on a person, trying to be nicer to them, trying to be better to them, monitoring yourself, watching yourself, and it still fails. You might be heartbroken and sad, but I bet the next relationship comes along and it's even better. or your life just changes in a way that's even more positive. You and the other person never have to agree on whether or not you were doing what you should have been doing. You know inside, internally, and that is what matters. Always live in the truth. Always live at the surface. Do not live in the sunken place because you're lying and you know you still been cheating, even though you said you would stop, and then the relationship falls off and you're acting like the person is wrong because they didn't catch you cheating, so they still left you and they shouldn't have left you, but you knew. You don't live in that world. Don't live in lies. Don't live in the world where it's like, oh man, I don't know why my life sucks. But you know you sleep through your alarms. You know you didn't try as hard in college as you could have. You know you don't work that well, don't show up to work on time, but then you act like, oh, life is just beating me down. Oh, I can't get a break. Oh, this person, they're lucky they get to have their parents have money for them, or this person, you're blaming other people and ignoring the ways you fall short for yourself. Whereas if you tuned everything out and just were honest with yourself and did all of the work that you needed to do, nothing will bother you. And that is so beautiful. It's like that is the way to live a good life. You can over prepare yourself to go to heaven. There are people who live that way. There are some Christians that I know that have fully believed and gave themselves fully to Christ in their eyes, and they are just certain that they're going to heaven. It's not a question. So imagine the peace that they're living in, knowing that I'm just living this life until it's over and then I'm good and I go to heaven, and I'm not even shaken or stirred in this life. I'm just going along with it pleasantly because I know I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to do. That is the real central key message here. Over preparation is the most beautiful way you can live your life. If you want today, right now, ignore the past. It's over. Don't think about it. Don't let it catch up to you. If you didn't go to college, who cares? If you've been trying to stop drinking and haven't yet, you've been trying to stop smoking and haven't yet, been trying to stop cheating and haven't yet, been trying to stop watch porn and you haven't yet, been trying to be better with your money and you haven't yet, been trying to be a better parent and you haven't yet, better relationship, whatever happened yesterday, ignore it. Don't care. It don't matter. You can't catch up. You can't undo it. You can't fix it. If you got bad grades in college, it's over. Get better grades now. So if you ignore all of that, which isn't easy, I'm not saying it is. I know how stuff weighs on you. I know how regret feels. But interestingly enough, intriguingly, pleasantly, surprisingly enough, the more you over prepare right now, the less regret you will feel about the things that you did wrong before. So if you are, say you didn't go to college, right now, if that is something that is pressing in the back of your mind, figure out how you can get a college degree. Maybe you got to take some tests. Maybe you got to get a GED. Maybe you have to take some ACT or SAT at 30. Who cares? Study extra hard for it. Find the transcripts you need. Find the recommendations you need to get. Do it months in advance. Be well prepared with your application. Figure out how somebody who's 30 applies to go to college and check all of those boxes. Okay, I need to have this on my resume. I need to maybe take a random night class. I don't know. That's a weird example, but if you're wanting to get a better job right now, prepare as far in advance as possible. Apply for it. Check LinkedIn. Find people you know that work there, or message everybody who looks like they could be a recruiter. Swindle your way in there. Then when you get a chance, watch all the YouTube videos you can on that profession. Learn as much as you can about it. See if you can find specific company videos that'll give you some insight into the culture. Talk out loud to the GPTs, the AIs. Talk out loud. Do a practice interview with them 2 weeks in advance, 20 minutes every day. That's not even that hard. Ask GPT for different scenarios. What if I get a mean person? What if I get a nice person in my interview? What if I don't get the interview? What should I do next? Do every single thing you can so that you're so well prepared that you know you're gonna get it. I'm not saying you can predict the future. You might not be able to be 100% certain. Obviously, maybe, just accidents happen. You couldn't even make it to the interview. I don't know. But 99%, the asymptote, you can get so close to being 100% certain that it is like you are 100% certain. So whatever you want in life, you don't need anybody else to understand you. You don't need anybody else to agree with you. If you know I practiced as well as I could, then you don't get it. And somebody else is judging you like, oh, you should have started practicing a week in advance before that. Ignore that. What do you think? Do you think, oh man, I probably could have? Or do you know, like, nope, I really tried my best and I'm really happy that I tried my best. And now I'll go on to the next thing. That is another layer. I'll get to that. But I just want to quickly just wrap this up, wrap this around, that this applies to every part of your life. You want to be over prepared for death. You want to be over prepared for the end. You want to do so well in your life every day that whatever you believe is going to happen at the end, or if you don't believe anything is going to happen at the end, you are so confident and content that you wrung yourself dry. You got out everything that you could possibly get out. So for me, that means working out. That means reading. That means learning as much as I can. That means finding stuff that I want to learn and executing with the knowledge that I get. That means being the best parent that I can be. That means making the most money that I can make in the professions that I choose or in the business schemes that I choose or any way that I can. So right now, I am overly preparing myself, being great in all of those things. So much so that every day I'm not grumpy at myself. Every night when I lay down, I don't have things in the back of my mind like, oh man, I should have read that book. I'm reading the book. Oh man, I should have worked out. I worked out. Oh man, I should have worked on my business. I worked on my business. So every night that I'm laying down ready to start a new day the next day, I'm feeling good and over prepared for the next day because I did everything I could for this day. And now for that additional layer, there are times when you're going to over prepare and still fail. So what? Get over it. Hate to say it so coldly, but that's the truth. Letting stuff break you down is not worth it. It's not necessary. If you over prepare for a job interview and you didn't get it, or you over prepared your college application, still failed, or you didn't get accepted, over prepared for your relationship and it still fell through, you're gonna be heartbroken. It's gonna hurt. But do not let that hurt linger or stop you for more than a day. Give yourself a time limit. Like, okay, I'm hurt. I'll be hurt for 2 days. I'll be hurt for a week. I don't care if it's 2 weeks, but just give yourself a hurt time range and get right back to it. Apply for the next job, apply for the next school, find the next relationship, whatever it is. I'm sure there are other things that we can cover when it comes to being over prepared, but those are just what's in my mind right now. And that's what a lot of adults deal with. So if you let the heartbreak overwhelm you, you're going to get depressed. Your next couple months of life, your next year of life is going to suck. And then you'll be right back to what was I supposed to be doing? Oh yeah, I tried to get a new job and I failed. But when I tried to get that new job, I was working so hard. Let me keep working hard and try to get a better job. You're going to get to that eventually after you get over the heartbreak. So you might as well shorten the heartbreak. Don't be heartbroken and just get straight to it anyway. That is the other very important ultimate takeaway from being over prepared. You're being over prepared for yourself because it's the right thing to do. You're not being over prepared just for the job, just for the relationship, just for the school, just for the grades, just to pass the test. You're not being over prepared just for that expectation, because you might get the job and then the company just disappears, goes under. Not even your fault, nothing you could do about it. You're being over prepared for your internal glory, because it's the best thing that you can do for yourself. And when you're doing the best that you can do for yourself, nothing else matters. The outcomes don't matter. Stop thinking about money. Stop thinking about better jobs. Stop thinking about relationships, marriages, children. All of that is bonuses. Those are bonuses that come from treating yourself well. But all that is you. You are the Neo in the Matrix. You are the main character of this movie. Everything that's happening, everything that's going on is for you. So learn all that you can from it. Do everything that you can with the tools you have at your disposal to live the best that you can, and don't worry about the outcomes, because karma is real. Everybody knows that. I don't even like talking in those terms like everybody knows, but karma is real. That is just a fact. So when you're doing all that you're supposed to do for yourself, good things just fall in your lap. That's why you see those dads or grandparents who just look like they got everything together, they got everything going on. They've just been working so hard and so consistently for so long that things have just worked out. Oh yeah, they own their house. Oh yeah, he's retired. Oh yeah, they got a nice backyard. They can take great family photos. They got a bunch of grandbabies, got a bunch of kids. That is just the benefit, the good karma of living well. So I think that's the video. Gonna end it there. Over prepare yourself. That is immensely important and it's super simple. I guess I can add this. It's not hard to over prepare yourself. It doesn't matter how dumb you are. You can get a perfect score on a test. You just might have to study for 12 months, whereas somebody else has to study for 1 week, but you can still do it. So I don't care how far you are. You can be with Beyonce. Probably not. She's married, but anything can be attained. The brain is limitless. Your potential is endless. If you see the most beautiful woman or the most attractive guy and you feel like you're not that attractive, you feel like you're ugly, you can get there. If you want to be the CEO of your company, if you want to make $1 million, you can get there. Over prepare. If you apply just 30 minutes a day to anything over 3 years, it's like 1 billion minutes, something like that. So you'll be pretty prepared. You'll be pretty close to that goal, a lot closer than you would have been if you never started preparing. So whatever goal you have, being a Grammy award-winning singer or being grandmaster chess player, being a swimmer, being an Olympian, I don't know, whatever you want to do, over prepare yourself and you will get there. Day in a lifetime. I think this is day in a life 28. Got a special day in a life here. Interesting little scenario that happened to me. A little story time we got for you guys. There's this woman that I met, and I know at least one person is interested in this part of the story. So this part of the video is for you. So I have been talking to them for just not that long. Like, this isn't anything like talking or dating. No. Didn't get to that point yet. But they're super attractive, super fine, and they're interesting. They're thoughtful. The first conversation we had literally was about how TikTok is making people stupid. So as you guys know, I'm stoked. This is right up my alley. Like, I don't want to talk about your day. Well, not to diss your day, but I'm interested in, thoughtful topics. So the first conversations we were having, I'm like, wow, like these are really interesting. And this person is really beautiful. I don't like where this is going, right? But the whole time, I don't know if she's feeling me. She might have a boyfriend. She might be too young for me. I'm not really, there's nowhere near anything quite like romance yet. So let me put that out of the picture. Like, I'm not talking like I just had this in the bag. Would have been nice, but she could have a boyfriend this whole time and just been like entertaining the conversation, and I could be a loser. So I don't know how this is going, but things got a little weird. I think I was mansplaining too much. Lesson learned for next time. We were talking about this book that we both read, and I basically explained something to her that she totally already knew. So that's an L. Don't mansplain. But the conversation picked back up after that. I think it was going well. But I was talking, I think, a bit too confidently, like know-it-all-y, because I'll just give you guys the context. Let's say I was trying to say all you really need to do is have a good day. There's really nothing else you can do. That's a good life. That's the perfect life. You don't really need to worry about fixing or changing who you are, because you can be doing that and struggling, but you still need to have a good day. So pretty much that was my point. And I was saying it with my chest out, like, duh, just have a good day. Don't you just need to have a good day? I think she was trying to say to me that, like, she was curious as to the why. Like, does God exist almost? That's not what she was saying, but that was like the deeper part, to be like, but why? Like, why does somebody who think all they need to do is have a good day, why do they get there? Like, are they just stuck in the routine, the cycle of just having a good day, not really addressing what part of their brain or what part of their come up is making them think that all they need to do is have a good day? She was saying, I want to know why. Like, I want to be certain and address why I feel like all I need to do is have a good day. And I was like, but you are addressing it just by thinking that you're addressing it and trying. And that's where I think the tension started, because I was saying it so willy-nilly, like confidently, like, and she was trying to say, it's not that simple. And I was trying to say, it is that simple. Like, all you got to do is just, I want to figure this out, and I'm going to figure this out. I'm having good days. I'm thinking about it. It'll just get figured out. That's how life works. She was like, yeah, but you're still, I guess you can say, not answering the question. You're just going on blindly like anybody else. And I was thinking I was happy to, let's pick it apart. Let's go at it. And then this is the interesting part. I thought I had her. And I don't know if the conversation just had got too tense and she was just disagreeing with me to shut me up, but I thought I had her. This is my doozy of a question to anybody. Do you think your life is perfect? Would you trade your life for anyone else's? I didn't think anybody would say yes to that question or no to the perfect question. Like, I don't think like I'm flawless, but I am pretty perfectly happy with the way my life has gone. Like, I can see like, wow, that worked out beautifully. And would I trade places with anyone? No. I would say Drake is probably the ultimate person to be as far as money, women, life, access. Would I want to be Drake? Absolutely not. Much rather be me in my mom's house. Totally fine with that. And when I asked her, would she trade places with anybody? She was like, yeah. I was like, whoa, like a Elon Musk or like a famous singer? And she was like, yep. I don't know who exactly, but I would. I was like, damn, not really certain if I'm feeling you anymore. And not that I have any power here. I probably wasn't going anywhere anyway. But it did make me kind of think differently. Like, would I really want someone who would change their life for somebody else's? Like, and I don't know that she really meant this. It could have just been a long conversation, tired of talking to me. And still stupid fine, super thoughtful. So I give her a chance. But that did beg the question for me, like, if somebody really thought somebody else's life was more worth living than their own, and they would take it, don't know if that's somebody I could see myself with in the long term. Quick little story time. Good story. Hope y'all liked it. I know somebody was interested. But um anything else? Not really. Kicked it with my son, handled some very important business scheming, worked out yesterday and today. Some very important business scheming happening, guys. So if anybody was worried, just know, don't worry. Nothing else. That's day in the life. That is over preparing yourself. Next video is going to be reclaim your attention. Have a nice life. Have a good day. See y'all Friday.